What's up, everyone? Marc Lobliner, TigerFitness.com. Now, I've been doing a lot of thinking lately as far as legacy. What will your legacy be when your time comes? What will you be remembered for? And I want to go over some things that I've been thinking about. I want to know your opinion. Comment in the, obviously, comments below. Comments below might be a bit trippy. I'm letting them go a little bit. We'll see what happens. But I would like to see your opinions below in the comments section on what you feel is important to be remembered by as your legacy. And I want to just go over a story. Hold on, let me show a little more arm vein. I want to be remembered for my arm veins. I want to tell you a story about my father-in-law. I want to tell you a story about a man known as Tim Giraffa. He, great community man. Owned a security business in Culver City, California, 21st century security systems, raised a family, 3 children, obviously an upstanding member of the community, member of Rotary, did community service, was Santa Claus every Christmas. I actually went as a polar bear one year with him, donating my time to community service. A man who, if one of his friends called him and needed help, he'd be the first one to drive out in the middle of the night, to help. And one thing I learned is that no matter what kind of a person you are, how great you are, you fade over time. People move on. Life goes on. Things continue. And I think that's how I want it. That's how you'd want it to be. You don't want people to have a bad experience or have a bad moment in time due to your passing. But what I noticed is the day of his funeral, obviously people were shocked, there was the whole funeral procession. There was everything that went on with the funeral. It was a day for him, to remember him. About a week went on, you start cleaning up all your assets and everything. You start cleaning up your affairs and you look at it and you're like, okay, you have to move on. And about after a week later, life goes on. You don't mention them as much. You don't talk about it as much. Even if you're Jewish, you're not sitting Shiva anymore. At the end of the day, life goes on, and all you're remembered by is your legacy. And, I got to thinking, I've done some really fun things in business. The intra-workout category, I was very instrumental in bringing the intra-workout category to the market. I've started some cool businesses, and, I've helped a lot of people. And I think that people I have helped will think back. It won't be in their daily remembrance of me, but I think people will say, you know what, Marc helped me lose weight, or Marc helped me get motivated to do this. And, there's a lot of kids that I've helped throughout the years. There was a couple girls that I helped lose a lot of weight as a coach, who I helped motivate to get involved in team sports. And, that's all fine and dandy, but they're going to move on, and they're going to get married, and they're going to have a great life. And they'll think back, like, maybe here and there that guy might have been instrumental, but it's just like I had a 5th grade teacher, Mr. Grimshaw, who I remember, who he doesn't cross my mind daily, but I know he's there. He was instrumental. So you try to do the best you can to help people while you're here, your time on earth. And it's not all about like making money. It's not all about this, not all about that. No one's going to remember how much money you make. But there is an important correlation that you can leave behind for your kids. And that's what I'm getting at, is no matter what you do in life, the main thing you're going to be remembered by, your legacy, if you have them, is your children and your family and the bloodline you leave behind and how they remember you and the family traditions you come into play. And that's why it's so important to set a good example if you are a parent for your children. But if you don't have children, what do you want to be remembered by? Do you want to be remembered as the guy who, if someone is having trouble crossing the street because they can't walk correctly, or if someone's injured, or if someone's pulled over on the side of the road, stranded and in a dangerous spot because someone could pull right beside them and rob them and hurt them or whatever, at that split second when you have the chance to make a decision whether to help or whether to go on, think about if that 5-10 minutes, even an hour, is worth that person being at risk, and think about if you can help that person. And I think that if we all lived life and thought about what our legacy will be when we pass, then we'd be a much better place. See, I'm putting in a lot of work lately. I'm putting in hours and hours and hours to building this company, to building Tiger Fitness, to building MTS Nutrition. And I'm doing it to build a future for my children. And also, I think that we're doing so right by customers. We are helping people reach their goals. We are enhancing people's lives. And we're giving people a good experience when they go to buy nutritional supplements and they go to help their bodies reach their goals. They go to provide that extra supplement to help them reach their goals. They're looking for something healthy. They're looking for something maybe to increase NAD like NR, maybe an extra protein source like MTS Whey. Maybe they need a vegan protein like Pro Zero. But we're there to help them every step of the way. And we also provide through our content site all the cool articles on helping people reach their goals and helping people through knowledge, and this YouTube channel showing people different workouts to help them push themselves mentally and physically. And at the end of the day, that's all fine and dandy, and that'll be somewhat there. But what I want to leave behind is I want my kids to look and say that, hey, you know what, my daddy did what he could within ethical boundaries to provide for us. And my daddy did the best he could. And my daddy worked his ass off. And my daddy was there. And at the end of the day, with all the other dads standing on the sideline watching before practice, my daddy was the one out on the field taking practice kicks in the goal from the entire team, even though he's not the coach. My daddy was the one going to watching the World Cup. My daddy was the one who practiced and played and went on the playground with me and my friends. My daddy was the one playing laser tag. That's what you're remembered for. You're remembered for your interactions, and especially for your parents, for you parents out there. You know, it's a real epiphany when I've had situations where, I've thought, what am I here on earth for? And sometimes you just got to put aside some stuff you want to do. Like, I want to go to a Cubs game with my boys. Yeah, I do. I want to watch football every Sunday. I do. I want to sit in this basement, this big screen TV right up there. I want to watch TV. Sometimes I just want to sit at home and relax. Instead, I drive to Ohio and I stay there for a week at a time to stay at my warehouse and make sure work gets done. You have to sacrifice. You can't have it all. You can't always have that perfect balance. But I think if you're going to have an unbalanced life, you have to make it unbalanced to where it meets what's really important in life. And if you're a parent, you give up everything else in life to make sure that your kids have everything they need. And I really don't care if I have to get waterboarded every day and electric shock therapy. If that means my kids have the greatest life possible, that's what I'll do. So, I've actually gotten a lot of emails, and I appreciate that, of people who are worried about my health and people who follow me on Periscope, who go to my Periscope. We have a Periscope tonight, by the way, of people who follow me on Instagram and people who follow me on YouTube, and they see that I'm not sleeping much. They see that I'm working a lot, I'm traveling a lot, and I'm always in Ohio, I'm always here, I'm always there, and when I'm home, I'm always at soccer, this and that, and they're like, are you okay? Yeah, I am. The legacy that lives on will be that I did everything I could, and I'm keeping my health. My blood works great. The only thing is sleeping. I'm doing a little bit better at that. I'm trying my best. But I think my balance issues are favorable. So look, guys, what I'm saying is, before you make any action in life, before you make any decision, before you drive past someone, before you decide to go see a sports game instead of playing soccer or playing catch with your kid, or going out and earning more money to help provide for the kids. So I want my kids to have the best education and best opportunities possible. And that takes money. It does. And that's one of the reasons I work so hard. My daughter has every opportunity to play with the greatest clubs in the area, get the greatest training, and she can also have guitar lessons. I couldn't have that as a kid. So I want to make sure she has that. So my legacy will be that I might not be the most liked person. I might be an opinionated piece of shit. And I might be brash. I might be harsh. And, I might rub some people the wrong way. But I'll give my opinion. I care. You know what? When I do a video like I did one the other day on people egging on a kid who's obviously not in his right mind, and I still stand by it. You guys by coming at me are showing that you're the same heartless, careless individuals who are willing to embarrass a young man who's only 5 years younger than me. And that's what's really sad. So if my legacy is that I spoke up against things I didn't believe in, even though they were not fun to speak up against, you know what? I'll go to the grave with a smile. Guys, I appreciate it. Another thing I want to say is there are some people commenting things on my Instagram, on pictures of my kids. If you're going to comment negative things, just keep it to pictures of me. But as far as like commenting negative things, it's a picture of me playing catch with my daughter. Really? Is that the legacy you want to leave behind? I'm Marc Lobliner, TigerFitness.com. Think about your legacy, what you stand for. Because leaving behind a trail of greatness, that's not a game.